200 Texans, including former Congressman Beto O'Rourke, signed up to testify on an election integrity bill at the state capitol today.
But a technicality forced a hearing in the Texas House to end abruptly before any witnesses were heard. KXAN politics reporter John Engel joins us live from the Capitol with what went wrong and what comes next. John.
Yeah, it was shocking to say the least. The chairman of the House Elections Committee, State Representative Briscoe Cain, this is the same representative who flew to Pennsylvania to help in the failed effort by former President Donald Trump to overturn the election results there. He told this committee they were going to break for lunch. What he didn't do is tell them when to come back. That broke a parliamentary rule, causing the committee to shut down altogether immediately and leaving hundreds of Texans unable to share their opinions on these proposed stricter voting rules.
Where is the penalty for suppression?
They had hoped to share their message with lawmakers.
We'll continue to fight until Texas is a state where people's voices are being heard.
Texans speaking out against what they call voter suppression.
They got scared today, folks.
House Bill 6 would require someone assisting a voter with a mail-in ballot to provide ID and a reason for helping them. It would block public officials from sending mail-in ballot applications to people who don't request them.
It's going to punish assistants who make honest mistakes on filling out information. Now it's asking for more information.
Election integrity is one of Governor Greg Abbott's top legislative priorities.
One of the main purposes of this bill is to standardize and make uniform as best we can our elections so that regardless of where people live, they know how elections are supposed to be run.
Other bills filed in the Texas legislature would ban extended voting hours and drive-through voting like we saw in Houston last year. Beto O'Rourke among those speaking out against the attempts to limit voting options.
The instance of voter fraud in Texas over the last 4 or 5 years is 0.0000442%. You have a greater chance of being struck by lightning than you do of participating in voter fraud.
But political experts say the election fraud fight in Texas is more about partisanship than proof.
It looks a lot more like the more familiar effort by the Republican majority to preserve their majority status by, in fact, shaping what the electorate looks like.
And State Representative Briscoe Cain apologized for the error. He said they'll reschedule a hearing to discuss House Bill 6, but he did not say when that would be. We're live at the Capitol. John Engel, KXAN News.
An update now on the hearing for the George Floyd Act. Some supporters of the Texas House bill began chanting and yelling after one woman testifying, the mother of a man killed by police, said she was going to finish what she had to say when her time limit was up. We've muted the audio due to profanity in the crowd here. The disruption lasted about 25 minutes. The hearing was later resumed. If it's signed into law, the bill would be if it's signed by the governor, the bill would implement police reforms across Texas.